Hello, everybody. This is the Screw the Script Wrestling Talk Show. I'm your host, Maverick. Um, Real quick, I just wanted to make a short video on the news that we're seeing right now with Shane McMahon in AEW. Now, if you remember, dating back in August, there was a photo that circulated of Shane McMahon meeting Tony Khan at an airport. I forget which airport it was, but it was in August. And interesting enough, that's also the same month where John Moxley started the whole Death Riders thing going on. And for the longest time, I had thought, hey, maybe this was going to correlate to the Death Riders in this long, drawn out feud with all of the wrestlers, all the talent in AEW going against Moxley. Well, I'm starting to wonder now, this is obviously just my opinion. I'm starting to wonder if that was the case originally, and maybe they jumped the gun. I'm not too sure, because the report came out that apparently, and again, this is just a report. This could just be rumor, not entirely sure, but it sounds like Shane McMahon wanted to have full control of creative, or I even read in some places, some articles saying he basically wanted to buy out AEW and run it himself. Which, if that's the truth, I don't know. I would say props to Tony Khan and not selling out if that is the truth. If it was just for creative control and having, like 50-50 stake in the company and running creative, maybe Tony should have said yes to that, because I will say lately he has been, struggling with creative. Um, at least like week to week basis. Their pay-per-views have been solid. They, at least in my opinion, there hasn't been a stinker of a pay-per-view besides, what was it, Full Gear, I believe it was a few years back. Whichever pay-per-view had the barbed wire death match and that pathetic explosion at the end, if you know what I'm talking about, that was a stinker. Just a sour taste at the end of that pay-per-view that honestly ruined it for me. That is really the only one that I can think of off the top of my head that is a bad pay-per-view by the company. So he can run pay-per-views. It's just the weekly shows are always so up and down for me, the last couple of years especially. So Shane McMahon would have been somebody that could have came in to help with that. But if the rumors are true that he wanted full control of the company, I can see why it was turned down. Is it part of the Death Riders storyline? I don't know. That's a long shot, but I've been seeing reports. Well, I shouldn't even say reports, just people out there buzzing about, hey, like, is this why the Death Riders gimmick is just so drawn out and there's nothing happening with it really? And, let's just tie into that real quick while I'm here, because that's pretty much it with the Shane McMahon stuff. We'll see more news come out about it eventually, I'm sure. It would have been cool to have him in the company. Maybe there is still a chance that we do get Shane McMahon in AEW at some point in 2025. But as for Death Riders, if this was at all tied to it, because John Moxley, formerly known as Dean Ambrose in the WWE, when he was on the SmackDown brand back in 2016-17, those couple of years when he was working alongside Shane very closely, who ran SmackDown Live, if you don't remember that or wasn't paying attention. Those two are close knit, so maybe originally this was something planned, and it looks like, over the last few months, it just kind of fell apart after, Shane made apparent what he wanted. He wanted, a majority of the company maybe, or he wanted full control of creative. It was just some dispute must have happened where Tony did not like it or did not approve of it. And maybe it wasn't even Tony Khan. Maybe it was his dad and not even TK himself that disapproved of it. We really don't know. It's all speculation, but I did wanted to just get my thoughts out there on this whole Shane McMahon stuff and just the Death Riders in general. Really just fallen flat for me. It's been falling flat for like 2 months now, I want to say. It just doesn't feel right to have the top prize for the men's division anyway, the top prize in AEW just locked away in a briefcase. And for a minute, and I'm talking just a few weeks, I had thought, maybe it's not even the title in the briefcase. Maybe it's a red herring. Maybe the briefcase was a contract, and it wasn't even a wrestler contract. It was to introduce Shane into the company. At one point, I was thinking, maybe it's that. And if that was the case, I would have been all for it. That would have been a very interesting way to bring in Shane McMahon into the company. But now, maybe it is just the belt that's rolling around in there. Maybe they've had to switch plans after the Shane stuff fell through, and now we're seeing this come to light, just for out there in the news and not so secretive anymore. I feel like the whole storyline is just a cluster F. I don't know if I should be swearing on YouTube. I don't want to get demonetized. I'm not even monetized yet, but I don't want this video to have that happen. Anyways, yeah, it's just a mess. It's a drawn out mess. It needs to end. We need somebody else to be AEW champ. Maybe Edge does win it off of Moxley, and they can finally end the Death Riders. And then we finally see, fingers crossed for me anyways, I love Christian Cage. Maybe he cashes in that briefcase that he's had for the longest time, that contract or whatever it is, for a title shot. And maybe he does it immediately after Edge wins. He gets the title and runs as a heel champ for a minute. And him and Edge have one last feud against each other. Because I think at some point or another, before they're both retired, they should team up one last time. That would be amazing, at least from my perspective. I loved Edge and Christian back in the late 90s, early 2000s when they had their run together. So I think that's maybe the direction AEW is heading. That's the direction I would like to see them head. But, we'll see if that's what happens. I think that's about it. That's all I really wanted to talk about. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Please like and subscribe this channel. Very new to all of this. I have a decent setup, I would say. I do what I can with post-production on these videos. Mainly, again, it's the Screw the Script talk show, wrestling show on here on YouTube that I kind of just rant, more or less. I kind of just tell you what's on my mind. I don't follow any sort of script. There's nothing. I'm just talking. I don't even write down points to make. I just kind of go what's off the top of my head for the topic of discussion for the videos that I upload. So thank you for listening. And again, please like, comment, and subscribe. And then actually a question for you on top of just general comments. Let me know what you think about this whole Shane McMahon stuff. Let me know what you think about my thoughts on it. And give me an idea of where you want to see the AEW World Title picture head, with Moxley finally dropping it, hopefully soon. Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you for listening. Again, this was Maverick with Screw the Script Wrestling Show. Have a good rest of your day.